Hey guys, don't mind my band-aided finger. I was playing around with these scissors because I was trying to do like this TikTok trend where you can like play with strings, like a shoelace string, and you can like wear like big oversized jeans or like pants and tie them up and make them look like aesthetically cute even though they're like big. And this is what happened. Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Simply Brie, also known as Simply Bridget, and today I'm going to be showing you the reality of being a model. So I know this was a long-awaited video. I know a lot of you guys, well, first of all, I know you guys were really interested in my modeling video. I was not expecting my modeling videos to blow up, so I see that you guys are really interested in those videos, so I wanted to incorporate more of those videos in my channel. So that's where we're here today. I've been meaning to do this for a really long time, but I wanted to focus more on what I wanted my actual channel to be about, which is like a day in my life, vlogs, and you know, stuff like that. But modeling is a part of my life, so why not keep incorporating those videos in my channel? So yeah, let's get straight into it. I have my little content journal here. This video is going to be all the things that you guys should know about being a model and the reality of being a model, because I feel like nowadays everybody wants to be a model, but they don't really know what it takes to be a model and the reality of being a model. Like, you guys can risk it all and say, I want to live my life as a model, I want to live my dream as a model, but you have to really think about what you're doing and think about the field that you're getting into, because it's not what it seems like. You know how I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. So I wrote down all of my points and all of the untold truth about being a model. So I'm just going to share with you guys the reality of being a model and just the harsh truth that no one really talks about. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so first things first, I know being a model, like on the outside, it's like, wow, they live like such the best life and they're so skinny and they don't have to do much. But listen, the modeling world is very glamorous. They glam that world up so much, like the beauty industry. It's a very glamorous field and industry, but the reality is it's very dark behind those scenes. And I'm gonna share the first point. One of the first untold truths about modeling is we have insecurities too. This is something that I really want to talk about because a lot of people don't think that models have insecurities, and that's not the truth, because we actually have the biggest insecurities out of a lot of people. Yes, we are skinny. Yes, we may look beautiful with like makeup and everything, but in that industry, a lot of people in that industry, like designers, photographers, stylists, like anyone, brands, they really pick apart the models. Like, they really pick apart like what you're doing. Like, we're just a prop to them. Like, we're just an object. So it's like we're like the doll and like the puppet, and it's just like they just throw us around wherever they feel like would make their products look nice, their clothing look nice, or their brand look nice. They can care less about like how we're feeling, if like we're tired or whatever the case may be. There are some really nice people in that industry and that really care for the models, but there's other people that really don't. So, you know, yeah, we do have insecurities, and I'm gonna speak for myself. I have the biggest insecurities a lot. I know it may not seem like it. I do think I'm a very pretty girl, but sometimes I get in my head about other models and feeling like I'm not good enough, because that's what the industry is about. Like, you really start to get inside of your head, especially if you don't get picked for gigs and stuff. You start to question yourself. Damn, like, why they didn't pick me? Because I wasn't this size, or I wasn't this color, I didn't have this type of hair texture, or I had pimples. You really start to overthink and really question yourself. So for me, for example, when I first got signed to my agency, I haven't been booked for actually anything. I really started to get down on myself, and I remember I was really close to getting this like Walmart gig. I know Walmart is like, girl, come on, but you know, that's pretty big for someone like me, because it's just like, you know, it's Walmart, and Walmart is a pretty big brand name and everybody knows Walmart. So it's like the gig that I was getting booked for is for like their virtual try-on or whatever. But the client picked me and a few other models from my agency and a few other models from other agencies. So specifically, I was competing against this one other girl from my agency and me. So I had went and I was pretty excited. I was like pretty positive, and I haven't gotten this far in a really long time since my first Project Runway gig. Not gig, but the casting call. So when I went there to go for the casting call for Walmart, I was pretty excited, and I was just like, yes, like, you know, they're gonna love me, you know, I have curly hair, my personality. After the casting call, I had waited and everything, and I think like the next week or like 2 weeks after that, and I went on my Instagram and I saw that my agency had posted a picture of one of the models from our agency, and it happened to be she got selected for the Walmart gig. And I was so upset because I was like, damn, like I really thought I was gonna get this because, you know, they were really complimenting me a lot, and they said I was really natural in front of the camera. And yeah, I just started getting really in my head. I started feeling insecure. I just started telling myself a lot of negative things, and you know, they weren't true, and I know they weren't true. I just felt like, you know, because I kind of told everyone like, oh my god, like, you know, I might get picked for this Walmart gig, and then like I didn't get picked. It kind of was just like, you know. But yeah, that's the first untold truth about modeling, that we don't have insecurities. We definitely do have insecurities, but yeah, we have feelings too. We're very insecure. I don't want you guys to think that looking at these models like we have no issues, we have no insecurities, like we don't go through anything. We definitely do. The next untold truth about modeling is that we're always booked and busy. We're not always booked and busy. I know these models, these celebrities that are models and are full-time models, they make it seem like, oh, they're booked and busy all the time. Even models like us that are my age, 20, 23, around there, in their young 20s or even under that make it seem that they're very booked and busy. We're really not booked and busy. The reality is, when we have a sorry for the banging. I didn't really know this until I actually seen it firsthand, because I also thought models were booked and busy all the time, and I questioned why I wasn't booked and busy. And like, you know, I'm a model, like I should be going to castings, I should be doing photo shoots almost every day, you know. When I wasn't in that phase of doing photo shoots every day, I was just, you know, again, feeling down and questioning myself and feeling like, damn, like, am I even a model kind of thing. One day, you know, I had a friend and she was a model. You know, she had a lot of very good connections. Like every time I would see her story, like it would always be her doing something that had to do with modeling, whether it was a photo shoot, video shoot, or just something. Like, and I was just like, you know, every time I look at her story and I'm like, damn, she's always, you know, booked and busy. Until one day I was with her and we had gone out, and it was just like a regular night out where we were just getting drinks, food, and just having a good time. When I saw her story the next day, I wanted to see if like she posted any of that stuff, and she didn't. Well, she did, but didn't. She made it seem very low-key, so she kind of just posted like a glass of wine or something, and then posted some photo shoot pictures from another day where she was in a photo shoot that day, but it wasn't the same day. I don't know if you guys are keeping up, but basically they'll take videos and pictures from another day and put it as if they were doing it that same day. A lot of models will take a lot of BTS videos, a lot of BTS pictures, and they'll use it as content for their story, as if like, okay, if I'm claiming to be a model, I need to start posting more model content and making it seem like I am living this lifestyle, when in reality they aren't living that lifestyle 24/7. The reality is, we wake up, brush our teeth, take a shower, maybe go to the gym, maybe not, make some breakfast, and your day may look like just sitting home watching TV because that day you don't have a casting, but you do have BTS videos and pictures where you can just make it seem like you are doing those things, but in reality you're not. But that's the way of keeping up your image and making people think that you are living this lifestyle, when in reality you aren't. We are not booked and busy all the time, so I want you girls and men to get that out of your heads. Don't feel discouraged or don't feel unmotivated because you aren't booked all the time, or because the reality is, we aren't booked all the time. Coming from me, for example, I have not been booked for a job in probably the whole year last year, if I'm being honest. Actually, no, not really. Probably the second half of the year, you know, when we meet like the halfway mark, the second half, I really wasn't getting booked for anything. And that's honestly because that's when I had my full-time job, and I really couldn't get myself to get booked for anything because I wasn't making myself available. I'm gonna say it here, I'm not booked and busy all the time, and I'm not afraid to say that, because, you know, that's the reality of it all. The third untold truth about modeling is that you get gigs right away. Again, going to the second point, you're always booked. When you first get signed to an agency, it may take a really long time to actually get your first gig or even get your first casting. It takes a really long time to get your first gig. gig. And honestly, when you do get your first gig, it's like a breakthrough through the industry. When I was signed to my agency and I got casted, the first real like casting that I gotten from my agency was the Project Runway casting. This was around the time when I first got with my agency, and I've never been booked for anything that big before. So that was an exciting step for me. For Project Runway and runway in general, you have to be like 5'9" and above. Not all the time, but we're not gonna get into that. But I did get discouraged because I saw all these really tall models, and I started to think back on the show, and I was just like, you know, well, the models are really tall, so like I don't think I'm gonna get this gig, but you know, I'm really happy that they even picked me to begin with. That was pretty exciting. But yeah, the untold truth is that, you know, it really does take a while to get your first gig. It may take months, it may take the year. There's people that have been signed to agencies and haven't been booked at all, and that's really the reality of it all. There's people that have really been signed to agencies for years and have not gotten booked. A lot of times when you do see those people that are signed to big agency and they haven't gotten booked for anything but still getting booked for something else, it's because they also freelance on the side too. Certain agencies you can't do that with, but for my agency I was able to do that because they weren't like restrictive on that end. For me, for example, when I didn't get booked for anything from my agency, I was still booking a lot of my jobs on my own, because it was like I can't rely on agencies to book anything for me, because you have to think about it. You're competing against like models worldwide, models within the state, models within other agencies. It's a lot. So don't get discouraged or don't feel like you're never gonna get booked for your casting. You will eventually, but you have to know the reality is you won't get booked right away. You know, you probably won't get a big gig right away. Your first gig may not be paid. Like there's a lot of things that go into, you know, modeling. I know how that feels like, and you know, even getting signed in general feels amazing. But don't get discouraged when you're submitting yourself consistently but haven't heard back from many agencies or clients. That's part of the process, and that's really what modeling is about. It's like, you know, you're gonna keep submitting, keep putting yourself out there. It's gonna take a lot of no's until you hear your first yes. So that's the reality of it all. But yeah, that's the third untold truth about modeling. The fourth untold truth about modeling is you get paid right away. It is true on some instances, but it's not true all the time. When it comes to like booking with really big clients, I'd say for Maybelline, Zara, Ulta, anything within those companies or those brands, really big brands or designers, a lot of those clients, the contracts say that when they do pick those models for the job or the campaign or whatever the case may be, it literally says like in the contract that you won't get paid until the campaign's out. It's really like one of those frustrating kind of things. It's hard for me to even explain it, because like I really have to go in detail on like the contract and everything and certain contracts. But the reality is that it may take you up to a year to really get paid for big gigs like that. A lot of the gigs that we get through our agency, you know, it's really big. Like the pay is really big, and it really excites us, because it's like, wow, we're finally getting like the money we deserve as a model. Because these little small agencies, I'm sorry, but the 100 and the 200 is not gonna cut it. Sorry to say, it ain't gonna pay the rent. I'm just letting you know now. Ask questions and know that for your first really big gig, you may not get paid right away. You may have to wait days, weeks, months, a year. It all depends on the client, and it all depends on your contract, and it also all depends on your agency as well. Keep that in mind when it comes to booking any gig in general, but most importantly, like the really big gigs that have high clientele or like the big brands. Don't let that upset you, or don't get frustrated or angry, because that's also a common thing in the modeling agency, is they will hold your money until they feel like is when they can pay you, I guess. It's really frustrating, it's really confusing. There's nothing really you can do about it, because you did sign the contract, you are a part of this agency. But although you may not get paid right away, don't let that discourage you either, because it's like at the end of the day, you got picked a really big gig, your face is gonna be everywhere, and then the money will come in due time. And although that money right there and then, you needed it for something really important, when you do get that money, you're gonna need it way more then than you need it now. That's the fourth untold truth about modeling. The fifth untold truth about modeling is that the modeling agency is very glamorous. It's very painted, very beautiful, positive, and uplifting. I don't even know the word to even describe it, but people have this image of like the fashion industry being such a like glamorous place, which it is. It's very glamorous on the outside, but very dark on the inside. So like you've heard Hailey Bieber talk about it. You heard Gigi Hadid has talked about it. A lot of models have really share the darkness that comes with modeling. The fashion industry isn't glamorous. You really have to have thick skin. I'm not gonna say I didn't know that, because I kind of did know that, because my mom was a model, and she told me the harsh truth about the modeling world, and like, you know, it's not an easy thing to be in. And like my younger self, I was just like, no ma, like you don't know what you're talking about, like why would they be harsh on models, like, you know, kind of thing, until I kind of experienced that environment as well. It's not an easy world out there, and you know, a lot of people are very harsh and are going to be hard on you, but you have to be strong. And I was like, I am strong, ma, like, you know, I was like, you don't know what you're talking about, like, you know, I'm not that sensitive. What's the worst that can happen? You know, it's truth. Like you really have to have thick skin, and you know, they'll really tear you apart there. They don't really care. Before I got signed to my agency, I had went to this one agency that a few of my friends were signed by them, and they had encouraged me to go to their casting and see what may happen, that they may like me and they might want to sign with me. So just take the chance, basically. So they told me to take the chance, and I was like, you know what, why not? So I saw that they were having a casting call. They motivated me to go, so I did. And what really motivated me was because I talked to the booking agent prior to the casting call, because I think he had saw me on Instagram or something, and he had told me to sign with his agency and to come in and he'll talk to me about the agency, which I did. Before the casting call, I had came in, they saw me in person, and they told me, you know, to come to the casting call, be as natural as possible, and just come in all black. Just basically come in, show your face, so the actual person that owns the agency can see you. So I was like, all right, I felt pretty confident, and you know, and he made it seem like I really was gonna get signed. So I had went, there's a lot of people there, a lot of models. I had went, and you know, he complimented me. He said, you know, you are very beautiful, you have really nice body, nice skin. And he had asked, like, you know, my ethnicity and everything. They had measured my height, and he had said that he would have signed me, but I was too short. So that discouraged me, and like that really got me upset, because it was like, damn, like I got all these amazing compliments, and the booking agent hyped me up for this, you know, for this agency, and to make me feel like I really was gonna get booked for this. And then the guy that owns the agency goes, yeah, you're very beautiful, but you're too short, unfortunately I can't sign you. And I'm just like, so you're not gonna sign me because I'm too short? Like, I'm not. First of all, they measured me without heels, which I get it, you have to be a certain height without heels because they want that girl at that height without heels. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna be wearing no shoes on the runway, or I'm not gonna be wearing no shoes at a photo shoot, so it's not really gonna matter. And I don't even want to do the whole runway thing. Like, I'm more of just a print commercial model, like fashion model kind of girl. That really upset me, really discouraged me, and it really hit my insecurity. And I never would have thought I would have wished to be taller, but in that moment I really wish I was taller. And that's what I mean, is that you really do have to have thick skin in the industry, because it's like, just because the booking agent says a few things about you, oh, you had to fix your teeth, or you had to color your hair, they'll literally tell you your teeth are too yellow, you need to cut your hair, you need to gain weight, you need to work out, like you're not eating enough. Like, they'll say these things to, like, because they don't care. Like, they need you to hear these things to do what you need to do, and to get you to where you need to be as a model, and to make sure your figure is looking right, to make sure you're keeping up to date with how you look, and keeping up with the standards of the modeling industry, or the standards of this generation. It's a lot. And you know, if you're willing to put yourself out there and willing to make these changes to yourself, by all means go ahead, but don't try to change yourself just because you want to fit in. And that's one thing that I really want to emphasize when it comes to modeling. Don't try to eat certain things, or not eat for the whole day because you want to maintain a certain figure. Don't feel like you have to do it to fit in that standard. It's really not easy. And for a sensitive girl like me, trust me, I've learned, I've built the strength. Really just see if like you can handle that stuff. Like, don't force yourself to stay in something that you're not happy in. You know, I know a lot of models feel that way right now. They really feel like not heard, or they feel trapped. They are making a lot of money, but it's like they can't leave, because it's like, what am I gonna do now? But don't be scared to speak up. Don't be scared to put yourself out there, and don't be afraid to let go of something that no longer serves you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Those are the 5 untold truths about modeling and the reality of being a model. Let me know if you guys want to see more modeling videos. I was putting the modeling videos on hold for a while, actually, because I didn't want my channel to be focused on that, but I do see you guys really do enjoy it, and it is part of my life, so I do want to continue posting these videos if it's something that you guys are interested in. and by the views and the likes, you guys are definitely interested in these videos, so I'll be happy to make more videos on modeling, anything model related. So yeah, just let me know in the comment section below, or you guys can shoot me a message in the DMs, whatever the case may be. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And yeah, stay tuned for my next video, guys. I love you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell on so you guys are notified every time that I post. Stay tuned for my next video, guys.